I know it's going to be close to midnight in India at the moment, but it is only about 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in the US of A. I am coming to you live from New York, in fact, from the Nassau County where all the cricket action is. It's on the outskirts of New York City, but of course, in the heart of New York County. Okay, why am I coming to you from this particular location? Well, this is exactly where the Indian team is practicing at the moment. So today was an optional training session. It's match day -1, 1 day to go for India versus USA. This was an optional training session for the Indian team today, and it did indeed turn out to be that not a lot of players have exercised that option of coming out to practice. So very few Indian players have come for practice. Let me tell you who those are. So you have Rishabh Pant, who's come for practice. You have Ravindra Jadeja, who's come for practice, and you have Shivam Dube, who's come to practice. Interesting to note that both Jadeja and Shivam Dube both have come to practice because you know that these are the two players that are not in great form. So for them to come to practice, it makes a lot of sense. You know, as a fan, as an analyst, all of you would have liked that the players that are not in great form like Jadeja as well as Dube come for practice. So they have. So only 3 players came for practice. Of course, you knew the bowlers would be resting. The reserve players, the 4 reserve players in Rinku, as you know, Khalil, Avesh, all of them also turned up for practice. So this is where the Indian team, in fact, as I speak, is practicing not too far away from where you see these cars that are parked. So they are right there in that area, practicing right now. But before that, I thought I'll update you with all that was spoken before the game, building up to that India-USA game. We heard from Aaron Jones, the vice captain of USA, and also the bowling coach of the Indian team, Paras Mamre, came to speak to the media. So here are some important points that were discussed before the USA game. First things first, for those of you asking that Kuldeep Yadav, can he get a chance? Will he get a chance to play? Well, it doesn't seem like that he's playing. So this is something that was asked, and I think this was the major point of Paras Mamre's press conference. He was asked repeatedly about Kuldeep Yadav. The first thing where he went on to mention was the fact that in these conditions here in New York, it's very unlikely that the Indian team is going to play 3 spinners. So that's the first thing. So you know this for certainty that India are going in with 3 regular fast bowlers, and that's going to continue even in the next game versus USA. So if you were thinking that maybe a fast bowler goes and a Kuldeep comes in, that's not happening. That was categorically denied by the bowling coach. Now there are other options that you can look at, and how you can fit Kuldeep in is if you were to drop a spinner between Jadeja and Akshar Patel, and based on what the bowling coach said, it seems unlikely even that is going to happen. On the Ravindra Jadeja form question, especially with the bat, Paras Mamre said that listen, they trust in a player like Jadeja. They know that he has a lot of experience, and he's just 1 game away from getting back into form with the bat. So, and they want to persist with him. So that's the first thing that he mentioned. So if you're thinking that they want to rotate Jadeja, that also seems unlikely. That's not going to happen. So first thing, 3 fast bowlers, they're definitely playing here. Secondly, they're unlikely to rest Jadeja. In fact, they want him to keep playing to get back into form because they feel that he's just 1 game away from striking form. So that's the other thing, which also doesn't allow Kuldeep Yadav to come. The other way he can come in is if Akshar Patel was to go out of the team, and basis what the team is saying, they're very happy with Akshar Patel. The batter has always been doing good, but it's Akshar Patel, the bowler, that sometimes people would have had doubts over. But listening to the bowling coach, they're very happy with Akshar, the bowler. In fact, Paras Mamre said that the reason they're playing Akshar in the 11 is that during the IPL, they were watching very closely in terms of the form that Akshar Patel was showing. And since then, he's impressed them with his bowling. So that's one of the reasons why they are persisting with an Akshar Patel, and that's one of the reasons why I think they'll continue to be with an Akshar Patel in the 11. So all of these 3 indicators are telling you that it's unlikely that Kuldeep Yadav makes it into the team. So it's unlikely that change is going to happen. He was also asked that, okay, maybe not this game, but going forward, do you think that this batting till number 8 is non-negotiable. It's cast in stone, and that at no point will India go in with 7 batters. To which Paras Mamre said that no, it's not cast in stone. It's not something that they decided that come what may they'll have batting till 8. No, he said that on occasions there is a possibility you only have batting till 7. On occasions, if they think there is a need to have an extra bowler, they will make that change. But having said that, I don't see a situation like that arising at all. So throughout this tournament, I'd be personally very surprised if the Indian team does not go in with this combination of batting till 8. How they make that, batting till 8 can change. Maybe on an occasion drop a spinner. If you want to fit in a Kuldeep and Kuldeep becomes the second spinner, get another batter by dropping another fast bowler, considering Hardik has been bowling very well. They could do all of these, but I don't see, though the bowling coach said that no, it's not cast in stone, they can go in certain games still with 7, but I don't see that happening. Throughout this tournament, you will see India bat till 8. How they bat, as I said, that combination can change. And it's been made possible primarily because of Hardik Pandya. Let's be honest, Hardik Pandya, the bowler, has been outstanding, and that's the other question that was asked to Paras Mamre about Hardik Pandya, the bowler, that what is it that you did with him that he's come so good in this tournament, because he was a bit down on form in the IPL, as all of you had noticed. And to which Paras Mamre said that no, they did not talk much to Hardik Pandya. The one quality, and that's a great insight about Hardik Pandya when you listen to the bowling coach, he said the one quality that Hardik Pandya has is that he has a lot of confidence in his ability. What does that mean? Some people, when you're going through a bad phase, can have self-doubt. Their confidence can go low, and then those are the people that you need to speak to bring their confidence up. But the bowling coach here pointing out that Hardik is one of those people, no matter which situation he is in life, his confidence doesn't go low. He has a lot of belief in what he brings to the table. And in life, a lot of us, different individuals, there are people who, if they have a setback at work, get bogged down a bit. You need a bit of talking to them to raise their confidence and bring them back to performing at their optimum level. Whereas there are certain others that no matter what sort of hurdles they face in their workspace, yet because they know or they are very confident in their abilities, they'll continue to go at that pace. So Hardik is the latter, and that I think is a great insight in knowing Hardik the person. So he said that belief that he has on his ability is what has allowed him to do so well with the ball. So even though he had a dip in the IPL, that ability has allowed him. And the other thing he said that his rhythm it came back. So he felt that it wasn't really out of form. His rhythm was slightly missing, and the rhythm came back primarily because of another reason. One, because he has high confidence, as Paras Mamre mentioned. The other, he says Hardik's work ethics are great, which means that if there are processes that he has to follow in terms of gym work, practice, he'll keep doing that. He won't ease up. He won't say that, I'm not doing well, let me take some time off and that will allow me to get back into full form. No, he won't do that. He's one of those guys who continues to do well and continues to follow the processes. So that's something that he was mentioning about Hardik Pandya and telling us the reasons why he has been able to bounce back. So that is what the Indian team is thinking at the moment. They spoke about the pitch. They said, yes, pitch is not great, but our bowlers have adapted to those pitches. They've adapted to where they need to bounce the ball, what lengths to bowl at, and he was very happy with India's performance versus Pakistan. He was asked whether this was the best ever performance that he's seen from the Indian bowling unit. He said, well, no, there have been others. For example, the test match in South Africa, the last test match in South Africa, how the bowlers bounced back. So he said that would be a better performance or a day that performed much better. But other than that, in the recent past, you can't say the best, but yes, one of the best. That was what was spoken by the Indian camp. Turning our attention to the West Indian camp. Oh, we have Mr. Vikrant joining us. Just to update you, you have finally found your accreditation.
Actually, that was also a struggle.
How? What happened?
I could not locate it anywhere. In the suitcase, this, that, here. Then I realized that the day I kept my suitcase on that stool, something fell. So I looked below the table and...
Oh my God. So you missed both the press conferences. But Pakistan have won, I believe.
No.
That's great news.
Amazing victory for them, yeah.
Amazing win.
Canada, they beat by 7 wickets.
People here
15 balls to spare.
in the comment section are saying, Nikhil sir, big upset in the World Cup. Pakistan have beaten Canada.
But you know what?
They're all cracking jokes.
I just saw.
See there, Priyanshu, biggest upset.
And it's the rain forecast that we're talking about in Florida.
Yeah.
The Pakistan game is not so important. It's the US game, because the US game is, I think, on the 14th. If that gets rained off, US are through.
US are through. That's true. Yeah, quick update on what happened in the US camp. Well, Aaron Jones, the vice captain, came, and the biggest headline from there was he was asked that, are you going to be, you're playing against Virat Kohli, you're playing against Rohit Sharma, are you going to be intimidated? He said, no, we're not going to be intimidated by anybody. We like challenges. We are also international players. We would want to perform at our best. So that's something that the US team said. He also said that the Indian, there are a lot of Indian origin players in the US camp. He said they're all fired up because they've played with a lot of players that are there in the Indian team or played against them. So they are fired up to be playing against them. Remember, there is a context to it. A lot of them are India rejects. So it's the team that rejected them at some point, whether it was at domestic level or even at an international level, and so they're playing against them. So they'll be very fired up as well. I know a lot of memes doing the round, H1B team and all of that, but I guess the Indian origin players are fired up. Aaron himself came into limelight by smashing those 10 sixes versus Canada. Then he played a very sensible knock versus Pakistan. So he's again a guy to watch out for. They're bowling. Ali Khan is there. Saurav Netravalkar, as you know, Nosh Kenje, the Indian left arm spinner. So they've got a good team. Harneet Singh that they have in terms of their batting, good team. Monang Patel, their captain come opener. So it's a decent team, and they'd want to upset, and they know that if they do well against India, let's not forget the other motivation for them is going to be IPL contracts. Whenever you play against India, that's extra motivation for players of any team to play against them, and they are very excited. They are on the verge of making it to the next round. What a historical moment that's going to be, because this is a tournament happening in US of A. And for a team in their debut T20 World Cup to qualify for Super 8, what a day it's going to be. So right now they're geared up, fired up to play against the Indian team. Just certain things that Aaron mentioned. By the way, just a reminder that I've done an interview with the US vice captain where he talks in detail about some of his ambitions, how to play against India, his West Indian background. That's going to be up on Sports Today very shortly. But also the other thing he spoke about India, he said, we know India is a good team, but we've beaten good teams in the past, so we will go hard at India too. This is exactly the words of Aaron, where he says we've beaten good, yes, India is a good team, we've beaten good teams, and we'll go hard at India too. The other thing he says that, America is a place where people love their sports. It's only a matter of time that this country gets hooked to a sport called cricket. Cricket is one of the top sports in the world. So, if they get hooked to this, they would be, if they beat India, that would be a great game to popularize the game. Okay, Parminder Singh, you want to see my t-shirt. This is my t-shirt. This is called an oversized t-shirt, as you know. So I'm wearing this oversized jeans and oversized t-shirt. Yeah, that's what I've got. No, I don't see any changes. To happen in the Indian team. I think it's going to be the same 11 they were going to be. The jury is out. You ask me, would I want to make a few changes in the Indian 11? I may want to personally, because if you want to try a few combinations, when are you going to make these changes? Once you've started the Super 8s, will you make changes when you've reached the Super 8, or will you make changes a bit earlier? Because remember, Florida game can be washed out too, So if you want to see how good a form Sanju Samson is in, or give some confidence to Kuldeep Yadav, you could afford to end without compromising. I'm not saying too many changes. See, Hardik is a good chance for you to rest him. Anyway, the workload management, you've seen it in the past tournaments, you've kind of rested him. previously. If you rest him, that may allow you play a Shivam Dubey, because I think he also needs some confidence. Allow him to bowl a over or two, right? So that would be a good idea. Maybe an over or two if Hardik is resting, then get in another bowler. Maybe play a Kuldeep, get in an extra batter if you'd want to by resting one of your top orders. Maybe you want to try a Yashasvi, let one of the openers in Rohit or Virat rest, right? They're in good form, they're going to play anyway going forward. Just if you want to see how good a form Yashasvi is in, those are the things I think you can do at the moment. I would be okay with the Indian team making a few changes, resting a few players, but will the Indian team not do that? Maybe not. Looking or hearing the press conference of the Indian bowling coach, unlikely that they would do that. Maybe, and again, it's nothing wrong, right? Maybe they want to continue with the winning team, winning momentum, keep getting, because also with the way a certain time, okay, last time they got out, other games, not a lot of batters have gotten that chance to bat till lower down the order. So maybe they want to give them the chance. So possible. Freaking awesome things, maybe in the game against Canada you could do that. Yeah, but why not against the US too? I think India's qualification is not under threat. So you could do that. You could do that. Okay. Shubham Garg said, Nikhil sir, please do live from the Empire State or Rockefeller or Macy's or World Trade Center instead of Times Square. And please tell me the t-shirt brand. Yeah, I don't know. It's a gift. So I don't know. I'll have to open the t-shirt and see. Yeah, but these are oversized t-shirts. You get all brands make it. So buy one. Yeah, they are in vogue. Paritosh says Pakistan is a very tough chance. I agree with you, but you know, in terms of net run rate, it isn't too tricky for them. If they win their games and just want one favor of Ireland beating USA, they could. And considering, of course, USA lose their remaining games as well, I think they could, because the net run rate isn't too much of a difference. So it's roughly around the same. They could, but the problem might be because of the rain. Florida that entire week, and I think Pakistan are playing a game too. And remember the US game there too. If that gets rained out, US get another point, then Pakistan are out. So that, I think, weather could play spoil sport for them. So that is saying, please tweet about the Qatar goal today. Yeah, I haven't seen that goal, but I know that India scored an open play in that game versus Qatar. So I know India has scored. I don't know what Qatar has done, and if there is a controversy, sorry, I could not track that match. I wanted to, but I wasn't, and I know which platform is showing it in India. I could not figure out that platform here. Also, I was at the press conference. So because of that, I sorry, could not track it, but I'll see the highlights, and yeah, I'll tweet about it. Piyush Tandre says, I think post World Cup also India, West Indies, USA, Canada should have a quadrangular T20I series. I agree. I mean, in general, I think there should be, a lot of series between teams. I completely agree. And if you really want to push, see the potential that USA is showing, see the potential that Canada showed the other day. Netherlands have shown at times, and Ireland also do. Now Ireland play, but maybe if you want to get them to play regularly, yeah, I agree. You should allow them to play against big teams, only then will there be better players coming through. Okay, I had a question there. Sorry, your name slipped out because comments were flying thick and fast. Somebody asked me, has cricket really arrived in the US? Okay, my honest opinion, wherever I've gone, the local, I mean, I'm talking about born and bred in the USA folks, they don't know much about cricket. They don't even know that the Cricket World Cup is on. It's mostly the expats, the Indian origin, Pakistani origin, Caribbean origin, people that are settled here know about it. They're the ones that are coming for the game. But I spoke to Aaron Jones, the vice captain of the West Indies team. As I said, that interview will be up shortly. He did mention that since the last few days, where USA have registered 2 good wins, he's seen slight change, slight interest emerging in the US for cricket. But imagine if they were to make it Super 8s, maybe do a few upsets, then you could have more interest here in the US going forward. And he mentioned that, listen, USA is a country that loves sport. So if you're in a country that loves sport, you introduce this sport gradually, who knows? Born and bred Americans, if they start playing, then cricket would have truly arrived here. Raghav has a very radical idea to get Dubey to open with Rono. I don't think they'll do that. No, no, no. That I think is too radical. I'm with you. See what has happened with Dubey. I think these kind of pitches are not suiting him. This is not Dubey style. As I said, he might be crucial for you when you're playing in St. Lucia, Barbados. Those kind of good pitches, he might come good. These pitches aren't great for him. Not to his style. You see how he got out last game. Ball stopped on him. He's the one that likes the ball to come onto the bat. He's that kind of a batter. So that's the difference. A lot of you are asking about Kuldeep Yadav. That's the question that I've answered at the start of my chat. So, you could go back, check that out, and that's the question I've already answered. Some of you have sent the equation as well. As I said, yeah, close equation, close thing. But Pakistan can make it, provided, as I said, Ireland do them a favor and they win their remaining games. They already won against Canada. If they win their remaining games, also weather, I think that might play a more crucial role. If USA's game in Florida gets washed out, I forget who they're playing. If they gets washed out, they get an extra point. They go through. Done. Okay, on that note, thank you, yeah, for all of you joining me. If you've joined us late, go back to the video. All the details about India's practice as well as the press conference, India versus USA game, all things that you need to do. For the moment, take care, bye bye. Nikhil Nas signing off from New York.